Hey guys, I don't know if you can see Liam and the dog, Archer, our newest addition, playing in the background. So if you hear a lot of commotion, that's what's going on. Anyways, I was going to make a video because we're getting asked a lot of questions about the zoning of this house in New York State and how that's worked for us. So I don't know who knows the history of this house and how we built it, but it did originally start as an RV, and we bought the RV from a friend of ours, and then we took the RV off of the trailer. We just demoed it, and we built the house on the trailer. Then we bought property, so we moved the house, which was still on the trailer, to our property. Once it was at our property, we removed it from the trailer itself and we put it down on a foundation. So, well, we finished building it while it was here, and then we moved it and put it on its foundation, and then we finished the inside. So how the zoning works for this, our house, our tiny house right now, is about 365 square feet. Oh, someone wants to say hi. I'm so sorry that I left him out. So it's about, one second, it's about 365 square feet, give or take. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Job would know. But we have to put an addition on, so that we meet code. So what we did is we applied for a variance, and I believe we have 24 months from the time that the variance was granted. From the time that we got our building permit, we have 24 months to put on the addition, and ultimately our house needs to be 750 square feet. So that's how we are living in a tiny house right now in New York State, but it's with the understanding that it's not going to stay a tiny house, which we're fine with. We did the tiny house thing mainly for financial purposes. We were trying to avoid having a mortgage, and so we didn't mind doing it in stages. I also wanted the experience of living in a tiny house. So this way we have both. We won't have a mortgage. I'll have experience living in a tiny house, and then ultimately we're going to have room for what we want as room for our family. You could live in a house this size. A lot of people do. And I'm actually really enjoying it, but I think we want more children, and we want more children and we want more space, and so, but we also don't want a ton of wasted space. So 750 square feet feels good to us. So what we're going to do, our plan is in the spring, we're going to take our tax return and we're going to put an addition on at that point. We are going to put an addition on parallel to the house right now, and on one end we're going to put a bedroom, and on the other end we're going to put a second bedroom, and then in the middle of those we're going to make that a dining room. We originally thought about having a living room there for just more seating space, because obviously there's not a ton of seating space in this house right now, but we thought that a dining room would be a better fit for our family. We like to have friends over, and we'd like to have more hosting options as far as having dinners over. Yes, it is hot. Yes, I'm making rice for his formula, so that's what he's saying. It is hot. So we'd like to have a dining room in there so that we could host dinners, have kids over. We are thinking about schooling options for Liam. We're not sure what we want to do, but either way, whether we homeschool, public school, private school, there's always going to be homework and things like that, and it'd be nice. Yeah, it's hot, and it'd be nice to have a space to do that in. So anyways, that's what we've decided: 2 bedrooms and a dining room right in the middle. We are thinking we're going to build it a little bit wider than what the house is now. Hot, yes. Our house right now is about 9.5 feet wide, and we're thinking if we meet the zoning requirements, then we're going to try and do it 12 feet wide. What I mean by zoning requirements is we have to be 40 feet from the property line of our neighbors, and our house is pretty close to the property line as it is, because we wanted to have the most of our three acres that we bought available. So we put our house in the front right corner if you're looking at it from the road. So that's the other thing with the addition. You have to abide by zoning laws. So you have to be so far off of the road. You have to be so far from your neighbor's property line. And you also can't build over your septic. Well, you could, but we're not going to. We don't recommend that you build over your septic or leach bed or anything like that. So we do have some requirements with that, some stipulations with that. So we've got to design the layout still a little bit more, but so that's the zoning. If we were to leave it on the trailer, we could have registered it as an RV and kept it as that registration with car insurance and everything, but you do have to move that around. I believe you have to relocate the RV every 90 days, I think is what it is in New York State. I could be wrong with that, but I believe that's what it is. And so we could have left our home on there and kept it on the wheels, but we would have had to move it every 90 days, and we really wanted property for a ton of reasons. And so once we put it down on the foundation, that's when we had to start abiding by the zoning requirements and the square footage requirements. And also I should note that depending on what town you're in your state, the square footage is different. So in the next town over, you might have a minimum of 1,000 square feet one direction, and then the next town over another direction, you might only need 500 square feet. It just depends on what your guidelines are. So the zoning is per state, per town, village, city, whatever you're in. So that's how you would look that up. If you're interested in building a tiny house, you would call your local, I think it's your local building inspector, and then they would connect you with the zoning inspector, I think is how we did it, is how we went about doing it. So anyways, that's how the zoning works here. I don't know if you guys are going to have any other questions about zoning. And if you have any questions about the tiny house in general, how things work here, logistics of it all, if you just want more footage of like daily life with these two hooligans. Liam's got his little walker out, drinking his breakfast smoothie and running over Archer. So if you want more footage of that too, I can also do that for you guys. So just let me know what it is that you want to see, and I hope that this answered some of your guys' questions. All right, see you next week. Bye.